Hey indie game fans! So begins September, which looks like a very strong month for video games in 2019, with many long anticipated titles all releasing in the same month. So let's begin with the top 5 best new releases of the week. Atomicrops is a roguelite shooter crossed with Stardew Valley, and again, could be a very clever mashup of genres, since these are two of my favorites. You inherit a relative's farm moments before a nuclear explosion, which now makes you the only source of food in this post-apocalyptic countryside. While the premise is cliché by now, the addition of a level of fantasy due to mutant crops and enemies does shake things up, so it's time to farm, marry, and kill. The balancing act of watering and harvesting your plants while fighting off enemies seems very hectic but fun, and of course, there are permanent upgrades to farm equipment and your farmhouse, which carries forward through the different runs. There are also animal pals that can help automate the farming, so checks pretty much all of my boxes. The River City Ransom franchise is a cult classic that most prominently was an open-world beat-em-up game with role-playing elements, and River City Girls is the latest official title, this time coming to us by way of WayForward, the developer best known for the Shantae series of games. This time, the tables are turned as the boyfriends of our heroines have been captured by the police, and it is up to them to save the day. Love the pixel art, so it's immediately appealing.
Hello, I'm Adam Volker, a creative director at Flight School Studio. We are making a game called Creature in the Well, a small indie title you may not have heard of. In Creature in the Well, you play as Bot C, the last remaining engineer of the Robot Collective.
It's finally here, the awesome-looking, pinball-inspired action-adventure game Creature in the Well launches this week and has you delving into the eponymous well in a town surrounded by a never-ending sandstorm.
But its core mechanics are inspired by pinball, Breakout, and other ball-related games. It's weird, I know, let me explain. In the game, you explore sprawling dungeons room by room. Visualize each of them as a small circuit board. The puzzles challenge the player's ability to catch, charge, and shoot the ball quickly and accurately.
I have watched a couple of preview videos and impressions of the game so far, and it does look mighty impressive.
You will use this energy to unlock doors and upgrade your character to further progress through the game. Creature in the Well contains 8 handcrafted, bespoke, super-duper unique dungeons, each with their own theme and visual style.
One of the features listed is pinball with swords, and that's not too far off, but the environments and the dungeons themselves are a sight to behold.
Challenging your reflexes, while others test your logic and puzzle-solving abilities. Sometimes even, the creature will attempt to stop you itself. Creature in the Well is full of secrets. Everything you find gives you a glimpse into what happened to the machine.
The camera shifts in many clever ways, and with multiple projectiles on screen, this can get rather hectic as well.
Chargers and strikers. My personal favorite is the axe. It splits a single ball into multiple, allowing you to hit your targets more easily. The hammer slows down time, allowing you to get your volleys timed just right. And the dual blades equip you with an aim assist to line up those long-distance shots flawlessly. In between your dungeoning, you can visit the town of Mirage, the dusty desert outpost town at the heart of Creature in the Well, where you will meet its kind-spirited citizens, like Danielle, a dragon crocodile blacksmith that forged all the weapons and tools you find throughout the game. If you bring her old cores from the dungeons, she can upgrade your weapons and help you level up. Back inside the mountain, you'll find Roger, a humble janitor aspiring to be a scientist. It in fact was Roger's great-great-great-grandfather who built the machine in the first place. Go figure. Hopefully this clears up what we mean when we say made-up words like pinbrawler or pinball hack and slash. Thanks for spending some time with us to talk about the game, Creature in the Well. Cannot wait for y'all to get your hands on it.
Dive in and uncover the mystery of this beautiful world. Speaking of gorgeous, Widower's Sky is an atmospheric exploration adventure game that follows a father, a son, and a dog as they journey across a strange planet. There are towering buildings and stunning vistas, and the use of lighting is top-notch, really emphasizing the stunning beauty of this world.
The sky was lit with fury. Fences plastered with the faces of missing children. Not much were found. We called them the haze, a white noise raining from the sky. There was no time to react, to gather things. All the kings bowed on edge. He looked like a wolf on fire. He told me he found a way, put his son on his back, and took his wife by the hand.
There are strange robotic walkers and fearsome animals as well, and one interesting line from the description is, like chapters in a novel, you play through the future while listening to the past until the two timelines converge and the story reaches its climax. So a very interesting narrative setup.
We were hit with a heartbeat, left restless in a cold sweat. We gathered under what was left of the sunlight, and the kings gave up their crowns.
When you think of family, what comes to mind first? A story of hope, of love, of despair. Of how fathers pave paths for their young ones. How mothers keep everyone together in a time of struggle. Thousands of memories bring thousands of images. These moments when you gave it all for one another, but also times when you felt alone, vulnerable, and wounded.
Children of Morta finally reaches launch and is a story-driven roguelite action game where it is all about the family, playing as members of the Bergson family sworn to protect a secret mountain, embark on a quest to discover the source of the corruption while relying on your family members to have your back. This is a story of a family standing together against the darkness, of love and hope, and of loss and sacrifice. Putting the narrative aspects aside, the roguelite action looks great, with the expected progression systems in place through upgrading of gear and attributes, but what draws me to the game the most, unsurprisingly, is the high-bit pixel art combined with modern lighting techniques, making it really such a sight to behold, and thus takes the #1 spot of the week. For more upcoming indie game new releases, check out the previous video or click on the recommended playlist, and I will see you after the jump.